Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, welcome back to a brand spanking new crafty simulations video. In today's video my voice will quite possibly break, but more importantly than my voice is Black Square have just released, literally a few hours ago of me making this video, their brand spanking new Bonanza and Baron aircraft. Just how good are they? So, you heard correct. Black Square have just released their brand spanking new Bonanza and Baron aircraft. More details on the packages as we go through the video. Today we're going to be concentrating here on the Bonanza. Literally, I have flown this once. It was released a good few hours ago, but not many hours. And I dare say a lot of flight sim people were getting excited for this aircraft and the Baron. For very good reason. Black Square are, simply put, one of the greatest flight sim developers here on 2020 and 2024. That's some great aircraft, and their previous aircraft they released for 2024, which was the Duke series. A lot of what went into that aircraft has gone into these aircraft, into the Bonanza here and the Baron, which we'll feature in a future video. A little bit of information on my voice. It's not the audio this time that sounds poor, it's my voice. I've had treble pneumonia of the left lung over the last few weeks, and this is the best I've been. In fact, I wasn't actually going to do any videos until Black Square decided very kindly to release this aircraft, and I'm like, A, I've got to purchase it, B, I've got to make a video of it. So I do apologise if my voice sounds a little bit odd, or more odd than normal. That's the reason why. So I'm hoping I won't be coughing and spluttering and all the rest of it through the video. If I do apologise, but that's the reason why. So let's talk about me. Let's talk more about this aircraft. So this is the Bonanza. We've seen this in the sim before. We've seen this in 2020. Black Square did the overhaul mod, I think it was, for a flight simulator aircraft for their version of the Bonanza. And now this is a bespoke from the ground up design for the Bonanza, and it's absolutely freaking amazing. Like I said, I've had one flight in it, literally one flight. I flew to an airfield, well, Edmonton calls it an airfield, it's a farm actually. It's probably only a few miles away from where we are at the moment, which is Wickenby, and I had some great time trying to get this aircraft in onto the grass runway, which was just long enough. But yeah, it was fun. The flight was amazing. You're going to see this in the flight. It really is one of those aircraft. You can tell in my voice, if you can understand me, that it's an aircraft that I'm quite excited for. I haven't even touched the twin-engine variant yet, but let's talk about this aircraft. We'll talk about this aircraft here. So this is, like I say, the Bonanza. This is those three variants that we have for ourselves. We have this standard Bonanza. We have the TC variant of the Bonanza, which I do believe stands for turbocharged. I know the lingo. And then we also have a turboprop, I do believe. I haven't looked into this yet, but I think it looks like a turboprop, which is going to be weird. But yeah, we'll like I say, we'll do other videos on those other aircraft in the future. We're just concentrating on this bog standard aircraft that we have before us now. So we'll just have a little walk round. This thing just looks amazing. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's got fly splatters on the wings. I mean, that's the first thing I concentrate on. It's the fly splatters. It's adding realism. We do have a radar or radome here, which I don't know whether it works or it doesn't, but you can remove it if you don't like it. It does kind of, I think it removes a little bit from the aesthetics of the Bonanza, but it's got it. So again, fly splatters, realism. We do have an electrical power unit here, ground power unit running on the aircraft at the moment. I don't know why I plugged that in, but I'll show you how to remove that in a few minutes. So anyway, we have, just look at this thing. Just look at it. Magnificent. You know, I think we are getting to the point that the aircraft we get now from some of these companies is just simply jaw-droppingly amazing. The level of detail that goes into them. Absolutely amazing. It just looks the part. Great reflections. Absolutely, yes. If you forget what the name of the aircraft is, Black Square Bonanza. We do have quite a few repaints here for ourselves. Mostly, I think they were catered towards the American market with the registrations. This aircraft weirdly doesn't have a registration. But yeah, I don't recall seeing the UK registration aircraft, so I could be wrong. I could have missed that. Like literally, I have flown this aircraft once. So let's get rid of some of these stuff. We can do this inside the aircraft, but we're going to get rid of some of the bits and pieces I inevitably forget about. So go around here. We'll need a ground pilot. Now this A to A, great idea. In previous videos, I've flown the Comanche, I think it was. Yeah, the Comanche 250 from A to A. I'm not knocking A to A for this, but I tried to start the aircraft with this cover in its engine, and weirdly it didn't start. I can't possibly fathom out why. I think it had a rag in it or something. I can't remember exactly what it was. But this here, this flag, is brilliant because it actually is in view of the pilot. So if you've got the flag, you know full well you have not removed this. So that's brilliant. Absolutely awesome. I'd be forgetting that thing all the time if I was a real pilot. God forbid if I was ever a real pilot. Okay, we are going to go to one of the first errors I've seen. I'm not sure whether it's my system or what. We have a cat flap here, like most aircraft, and that looks open to me, and I'm fairly certain it's shut. If we go inside, yeah, cat flap is shut. And if we go outside, we've gone to the wrong side of the aircraft, obviously. Of course we do. Mouse, pay attention. No, let's not walk into things. This character's named after me, you know, he won't run. So again, it looks like it's there, and then it's there, and then it's sort of not there, if you know what I mean. So black square, that looks a little bit like it's missing from certain views. Again, that's the only thing I've seen that's wrong with this aircraft. And again, it could be down to my system, so I'm just going to say it's out there. It could we click. Ooh, you can click on things. What do we do with these things? What do we do? Okay, so we can click on it, but I don't know how we... Okay, I can manipulate the propeller. Maybe that's just to see if the engine's blocked or locked. Anyway, let's go inside and have a little look, see what it's like on the inside. We've just seen it already. Let's show you it again. So, welcome to the cockpit of the Bonanza. Yes, American registration. Weirdly, it's not on the actual fuselage. We'll ignore that. So, yes, if you know anything about black square, the detail they put in is uber levels of realism. Everything is just about clickable and working and does exactly what it's supposed to do. It doesn't matter what the aircraft is. It started with the overall mods. We've gone into actually now bespoke aircraft. I think the Dukes were specifically, in my view, the best of the black square aircraft. I think this one might be better. And I haven't even tried the other versions yet. I haven't even tried the Baron. I do love a good twin-engine aircraft. So we'll open that up now. I mean, just look at this thing. Just look at it. It's beautiful. Always like a good look around the cockpit. And look, developers, when they do details like little smudge marks in the roof, which you're not going to see, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to look in the back of this thing. And you're doing things like that, it just shows you the realism, the level they go to, the layers that they put into these aircraft. Absolutely awesome. I love this thing. I really do. I know my voice is going to give out at some point before I get too excited, but yeah. There is a tablet. It's down here. It's a typical tablet that we've seen in black square aircraft before, so I'm not going to go through it too much, but we do have the obligatory avionics packages we can change around. So if we want to put a KX, what's that, 155B? So we do that. What does that do? What do I put in? Do I put that in? There we go. It is, I know I had to swap something. So yeah, so at the moment we're rocking a KX 155B with a GTN 650. That's a 650, obviously. So we can change things around. Obviously, you know I'm going to be running the GTN 750 here. I'm running the PMS 50 when it loads. Sort of hoping it's... Yes, there we go. So about to say, sort of hoping it's going to load. So we've got a GTN 750 and 650. We have our transponder up here, and we do have radios and autopilots and, what's that, an OBS? DBS? Oh, now, there you go. Bendix King. Navigation. I just look out the window, me. So yeah, we do have a few other options down here. So we have cloud strobe effect. Now this is important. It's been noticed that with this on, in previous aircraft, there has been an FPS deficit, where basically when you're flying through the clouds, especially in dark, you'll get the effect even of the strobe lights basically illuminating the clouds. It can be quite disorientating, it can be quite strong. I haven't tried it in this aircraft, but if you don't want it, just turn it off. It's dead simple. So we do have a few options down here to, we can hide the radar pods. That's that thing there. We can get rid of it. Makes no difference really. I suppose it probably changes some of the weight. Moving over to the payload, again we can change our fuel. I'm going to put that back up because I was obviously flying earlier. Can I have 20 gallons please? Thank you. We're running on external power. We've removed the wheel chocks, pitot covers, engine covers, and we don't need an engine heater. Now, I mean, it's autumn, it's not that cold. So we can open a few of the doors, refill the oxygen, all that kind of stuff, and play around with our baggage, or you can put people in, and passengers and co-pilots and all that good stuff. Engine, again, this is very, very complicated, but it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant because it shows you how your engine is responding. It actually shows you it. And at the moment it's doing diddly squat, obviously, but when it's running, all these little pistons are bouncing up and down, and there's heat coming in, and engines, and all good stuff, and it's witchcraft, really, it's witchcraft. But yeah, it shows you it. We've seen this before in black square aircraft. Very fascinating. Yeah, whether you pay attention to it too many times, I don't tend to. It shows how much of a level of professional I am. So we do have some options as well to clear our cylinders, clean the plugs. I'm always going to clean the plugs because I've always run the engine wrong. We can repair our starter even, so I'm going to do that as well. I was having a few problems starting the aircraft. Batteries, not really much of an issue because at the moment we've got a GPU running. We've got electrical, if I can click. Can I click on that? Thank you very much. So again, electrical side of the aircraft. We've seen this before. It's fantastic, it's great. Again, it shows you just what's going on underneath the hood of your aircraft where your electrics are all concerned. Moving on to the cabin. Okay, so this is more to do with your air conditioning. So are you A, freezing your passengers, or B, boiling them alive? I mean, you can set this all up to your heart's content. Ear discomfort. That's a new one. I've never seen that one. Ear discomfort. Okie dokie. So that must be something to do with climbing and descending too much. Makes your ears pop. And we do have a failures section. I have turned them off. Okay, that's the only thing I've turned off on this. Because at the moment, I don't really want to be having things jump up at me out of nowhere. So anyway, we can move this around. There's no map on it, unfortunately. That's the one thing I sort of missed. But then again, I suppose we've got the GTN 750 there. So to get rid of it, we just click on this click spot down here, and it just goes back down there. Not a problem. We'll have a simple run around the cockpit. We've seen this as a single-engine propeller-driven aircraft. They're relatively the same. So we do have standard instrumentation. In fact, we've got our speed in knots, our turn indicators, we've got compasses, got radar altitude. Okay, that's very interesting. We have our artificial horizon. We have a compass of some. Is it a wet compass? No, it's not a wet compass. That's what's up there. So it's a compass anyway. Altitude, obviously, vertical speed, and we've got an OBS down here. Engine dials are posted up here with our manifold pressures, our RPMs, fuel flows. We've got a couple of multi gauges for our T's and P's, I do believe. Moving on to, like I said, we've got the GTN 750 there. Brilliant piece of software. It is separate of this aircraft. You do have to have a separate purchase. Wholly recommended. PMS 50, awesome. Like I said, we got an autopilot here. We've got an ADF, I think that is, of some description. Again, never used one in my life. We do have a weather radar screen. Now, like I said, I don't know whether this works with the radar as a radar, I should say. I don't know whether it does that, because it does do quite a few things. I think I'll turn that off, actually. Shouldn't have that on while we're on the ground and powered. But anyway, it is part of the options. We've seen this again before from previous black square aircraft. You can change a few of the things, repair a few of the things. It's all that sort of lovely stuff. We have our transponder here, which obviously we'll be using for the 750. 650, again, GTN 650 and 750, pretty much the same. And we do have some other instrumentation for our co-pilot, should he or she be sat there. Again, we're not going to be that much of an issue, so let's get that for the time being. In fact, we'll get with this one as well. So moving over to I love a good toggle switch. So we have our power and AC in this section. We have our de-icing gear over here of our lights, or strobe lights, beacon lights, and nav lights. And then we have flood panel, taxi and landing lights over here. Don't know why they put like that. I suppose easy to reach with a column there. I don't know. Haven't a clue. Gear lever. So we've got retractable gear to worry about. Standard 3-lever throttle system. So we've seen all this before. Fuel tanks are here. Flap levers are, flap lever even is there. We have a 3-position flaps. So up, intermediate, landing, I think we'll class it as. We do have some lighting there. I think I might have wanted to play around with those earlier, couldn't find them. Fuse panels, for all those lovely people that like to know if the fuses all pop and are they actually usable. Yes, they all are. Just see, I just changed the... We'll put that back in again, thank you very much. Because I just heard an electrical issue there. So again, these do pop. And if you had the damage system on and you mishandle the aircraft, there can be issues, electrical issues, and it will pop the correct fuse for that issue. Fuel tank lever was down here. That was, I couldn't find that for the love of God. So yeah, we'll pop this back on. And that. So yeah, that's basically about much of this aircraft we have. We do have some lights above us. And yeah, so anyway, where are we? Well, of course, we're going to be at Wickenby. We've been flying in America for quite a while now. Well, I thought I'd bring this aircraft back, and we'll fly this from Wickenby. Now, you've heard me prattle on about this far too long. There's a lot of stuff to go into these aircraft. I think if anyone knows Black Square, you know they're going to be detailed. So anyway, what we're going to do, I'm going to cut the video here, and then I'm going to have a sip of my coffee, and then I'm going to go out for a flight. So we're going to see exactly how good this aircraft really is. Right, so had a good sip of my coffee. So that's right. So we'll get rid of the locks. We do not need them. Right, so we do have a ground power unit connected, which is good. That's what's going to be helpful to us. So I'll have our batteries on there, please. I think I'm going to get rid of this. Got the beacon lights on, please, and thank you. Mixture lever's going to come. Mixture lever's going to come up to full. Throttle is going to come up to full. I'm checking I am on the left tank, and I am. You might be wondering how to operate this. Obviously, it's the same as any other switch. It goes left and right. You might be wondering why I can't switch to the off position. You have to switch that button in, and then it will go to off. And once again, you can't operate this until you press that button, and then automatically switch to either left or right tank. So that's fuel tank switching on to the left. Right. We're going to have... It's coming. No, we're not going to start the engine. That's a bit of an eager one. Right. So pump is going to come on to 2 to 3 seconds. We should see a fuel flow there registered. And as soon as that does, we shall shut the fuel flow off. We will then pulling back the throttle to 1/2 inch, I do believe, in this aircraft. And then hopefully it's going to start. Well, you know, touch wood. It's a Black Square aircraft. It is distinctly possible this will not start. So anyway, fuel pump, even auxiliary fuel pump on. 1, 2, 3, off. Throttle coming back. Out to half. Put that back on again. And let's see if this thing actually starts. Right, so let's clear area and start the engine. And we have a good start. Shut that up. Right. God bless these aircraft. Right, so let's get... don't need that on, don't need that on. Nav lights can come on now. We'll pull the mixture back. Don't want to run it like this. Right, okay, so procedure... sorry, not that. That. Flight plan. Echo, Golf, November, Whiskey, Wickenby. So we're coming back into Wickenby. That, squawk, 7,000, altitude hole, reporting even, and is set. Into test mode. We'll have that on terrain. Autopilot, we will set my usual 5,000. Right, so Trackir, are you going to respond? You are. My God. Flaps coming down to approach. It's got shortest runway. Taxi lights on. So, clear on the left side, clear front, clear on the right side. Do have a Cessna to our right, not an issue. Coming off parking brakes, let's just listen to this aircraft. Honestly, this is just, you know, I mean, you've seen black square aircraft. They are really, really good. This is definitely one of those. And it handles on the ground really, really well. I did notice this earlier. Even on grass, it handles really, really good. So a quick taxi and we'll stick our back end out towards the grass, do our run up. Right, parking brakes are set. So we're going to run up to 2,000. Just clear that off for the minute. RPM up to 2,000. And holding. Left mag. Notice the difference. Both mags. Left mag. Right mag. Left mag. Back up to both. Cycle the prop pitch. And we are cleared and ready. Right, so fuel pump is now going to come on, landing lights are coming on, taxi lights are off, strobe lights are on, put the column back on, you full. Right, so transponder is squawking 7,000, that's correct. No one's on approach. So let's go. Set runway heading, mixture set, prop pitch set, throttle set, light set, transponder set, navigation not required, flaps are down one stage. Engine set, brakes off, let's go. Airspeed's alive. Tap the brakes, gears coming up. Flaps coming up. There's probably about a million things I'm forgetting to do, but I do love this aircraft, and it amazed me on its first flight. Just trying to set the audio so that hopefully you're not getting drowned out by these amazing sounds. Coming up on 1,000 feet. Mixture coming back, throttling back, fuel pumps off, landing lights are off, so flaps are up and confirmed on both sides, gear is up, no warning. And it's that simple with this aircraft, just that simple. going to keep in the local area. Not that we're flying too far, but I just want to demonstrate just how good this aircraft is. It feels... I don't want to say it feels better than the previous Black Square aircraft, because that's not fair. I mean, the Dukes was my previous Black Square aircraft, and they were fantastic, and still are. But this aircraft here feels absolutely amazing. It's not wanting for power. It gets going very quickly. I can't wait to fly the turbocharged version, and weirdly, I mean the turboprop version as well. I'm not a fan of turboprops, but I can't wait to see what Black Square have done with the turboprop on this. Nicely maneuverable, it's nicely balanced as well. Once you get the engine calmed down, bring the RPM down, you know, you're into the cruise. It's a very, very comfortable aircraft. This is without any autopilot. So just to demonstrate the autopilot, I am that heading autopilot on, heading hold on, altitude hold. There you go. All set, hands off the stick, trust me. And it's flying itself. See the terrain's changing now, so we're heading to autumn. A lot less green and a lot more oranges and browns. Still flying on autopilot hold, heading hold even. Aircraft responding just lovely. T's and P's are good. We'll make a run over Wickenby and then we'll bring ourselves in for landing and final thoughts on this aircraft. Is it me or is the flight simulator just looking so much more vibrant? I've been tinkering with a few things in the background, computer related, and some of the flight sim settings, including the config file. I wholly do not recommend anybody plays around with a config file, or was it the user file they call it now, unless you know what you're doing. But I made some changes, and I think the difference is absolutely amazing. This aircraft is just absolutely fantastic. I'll go on the prices and the different versions you can get when we get back on the ground. So, coming off autopilot, we'll go to our normal approach pattern. Like I say earlier, I was flying it for the first time, and I was landing it on, there's a farm not a million miles away from here, and a nice grass runway. I thought that'd be a nice tricky area to get into, and I made a few approaches just to sum up the area. And when it finally came to the landing, yeah, it was a bit of a tricky little sod to fly. I had real weather on, and it was a bit windy at the time in the area, so yeah, it was quite dicey, especially lower than 100 knots. But it was a joy, an absolute joy to put it into that area. We have the gear horn. Most aircraft have. It's a very good reason. So, flaps coming down one stage. Fuel pump coming on, landing lights are on. We'll bring ourselves round for a nice lazy right-hand turn. Gears coming down. Wheelie the gear up like flashes until it goes out, and that means gear is down. Lost where the airfield is. It's somewhere around here. I know it is. There it is. So you don't want to take this aircraft down to below 80 knots. It's just not wise. It becomes a bit of a tricky sod to handle. So, landing lights are set, fuel pump is on, gear is down and indicated 3 green and locked, and flaps are down one stage. Only hazards we have to worry about on approach here is the fact of the trees, which should be fine. So 92 knots on approach. Flaps coming down to landing. Throttling back, nose coming up. Touchdown. Watching for the hump. Famous Wickenby hump. Right, flaps are retracting, fuel pump coming off, landing lights are off, taxi lights are now on. Strobe lights are off. So, where do I see this aircraft fitting into the flight simulator world? At the top. I really honestly do think, I mean, is this better than the A2A Comanche 250? I actually sort of want to say it is. I'm not saying the 250 is a bad aircraft, or the A2A of, you know, not a very good company. They are, we know they are. But Black Square seems to be just knocking it out the ballpark with whatever they release. I think, to be fair, it's a consumer's world now when it comes to Flight Simulator, and we have a lot of options out here for us and our needs of flying single-engined or twin-engine aircraft. I can't wait to fly the Baron. I think it's going to be absolutely amazing. So anything like this. Right, parking brakes are set. Good animations on the prop. I always love to see good animations on a propeller on shutdown. Right, taxi lights coming off. Nav lights are off. Beacon lights are coming off. Mixture is pulled back. Throttle is confirmed shut. Avionics are off. Inflators are coming off. And batteries off. And the fuel tanks are now off. So, this aircraft, absolutely jaw-droppingly amazing and well worth the fact this video is probably going to turn out to be quite long. I do apologise for that. I do like to try and keep the videos shortish, but this aircraft is just so much worth, so much detail. So anyway, I'm going to go through. You can purchase this from Just Flight, which is exactly where I purchased it from. Right, so there are three versions, let's say, to purchase. You can buy the individual aircraft. So you could buy the Beechcraft Bonanza here on its own, or you could buy the Beechcraft Baron on its own, or you can do what I did and just buy them as a pair. They are being sold as a bundle deal, and that is for the UK £44.99. And if I actually figure out how this thing actually works, if you would like to buy the Baron on its own, that's £32.99. And I think the Bonanza is the same as well. So it's £32, £33 really, if you want to buy them separately, or £44 if you want to buy them as a pack. Buy them as a pack. I haven't flown the Baron, and I'm going to tell you now, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be awesome. It's awesome. They're awesome. I can't even say it right. Financially, it makes sense. I think if you buy this or the other one on their own, you're going to very quickly want to buy the other one just to see how good it is. Black Square they've done a fantastic job. It's an amazing job. The last time I got really excited for a single engine aircraft would be the Cowes DA40 NG. You know, I wasn't a fan of the previous version, but the NG I was kind of excited for, and quite rightly so. It's an amazing aircraft. The Comanche 250 is going to be mentioned quite a few times in comparison to this aircraft. And it's, in my view, I think this aircraft is better. I'm not saying it for a bad thing. Like I said, A2A, fantastic. They've done an awesome job. Black Square have done an absolutely freakingly awesome job. Absolutely amazing. I'm so gobstructedly amazed with this aircraft. So anyway, before I dribble on any more about this aircraft, I will be saying we will be featuring the other aircraft, the TC and the turboprop, and the Baron and its TC and its turboprop. Yes, they do exist as well. In future content, so look out for those. I'll try and feature them quite quickly so you can get an idea of what these aircraft are all like. And yes, I will see you. Oh yes, if you've got any questions or comments about this aircraft, if you bought it today on release day, amazing, well done. If you haven't, why haven't you? But if you've got any questions or comments about this aircraft, please bang them below. This is one of those study level aircraft that's absolutely amazing. I can't wait to get more hours logged under with this aircraft. So anyway, I'm sorry about my voice. Or maybe that's a good thing, I don't know. But yes, I will see you in a future Microsoft Flight Simulator video very, very soon.